Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate your time. Thank you for watching. If you're new here, this is Guns and Gadgets, and I report on Second Amendment news, whether it's good, bad, ugly, or indifferent, the victories as well as the defeats, and all of the attacks on our Second Amendment rights, the right to keep and bear arms, the one right that keeps us and this country free and safe every single day. So if you want that information, subscribe to the channel down below, and thank you for your time. I want to tell you about 19 attorneys general, 18 states plus the District of Columbia, that just sided with ATF's frame receiver rule the day before the ATF tweaked it. Did they know it was coming? Are they in cahoots? I'll leave that up to you, but I'm going to tell you what they said in this court case that's been ongoing, and that's the Vanderstock case. This is the first page of the filing that took place on December 27th of 2022, and you can see it's in the United States Court of Appeals for the Fifth Circuit, and this is taking place in Texas. The lawsuit is Jennifer Vanderstock, 80% Arms et al. Versus Merrick Garland, and these are the attorneys general who have sided with tyranny and taking your rights rather than what they're sworn to do, and that's to uphold the Constitution. The attorneys general are from the District of Columbia, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Hawaii, Illinois, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, New York, North Carolina, Oregon, Rhode Island, and Washington, and this is what they've said. The District of Columbia and the states of New Jersey and Pennsylvania, on behalf of themselves and the states of California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Hawaii, Illinois, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, New York, North Carolina, Oregon, Rhode Island, and Washington, file this brief as amici curiae in support of defendant appellants and their authority to enact the final rule at issue. The summary of their argument is this: the final rule's regulation of readily assembled weapon parts kits and partially complete frames or receivers is consistent with the text, history, and purposes of the Gun Control Act. Well, it doesn't matter for them because the United States Supreme Court in the Bruin decision said text, history, and tradition at the time when the Second Amendment was founded back in 1791, not when the Gun Control Act was enacted. Let's continue. As the rule recognizes, such kits and partially complete weapons are firearms under this plain text. The history and context of the act confirm this common sense interpretation. Congress enacted a broad scheme to regulate the interstate flow of firearms, and the rule ensures that the act and similar state laws are not thwarted by advances in gun technology. The final rule is a vital backstop to states' efforts to stem the flow of ghost guns and combat the resulting violence. In response to the recent influx of ghost guns, at least 14 jurisdictions have enacted their own laws regulating weapons, parts kits, and partially complete frames or receivers. But absent federal enforcement, the number of unserialized guns has proliferated, leaving in its wake a spike in crime and violence. The final rule serves a vital coordinating function consistent with the Gun Control Act that states cannot exercise on their own. Now, what these states are saying, I'll break it down for you real quick. I did read this filing, 28 pages. I'll link it down below. But what they're saying is that, look, there's a spike in violence. What they're ignoring is that the Democrats created the spike in violence partly because I think they wanted this road to be plowed. They wanted to come after guns because they knew if they burned the country down, they incited mostly peaceful protests. They let violent criminals go, didn't hold anybody responsible, and they made the lawful gun owner look like they were the problem, that eventually all of the gun control groups would focus their attention on us and take away things from us, or try to. And that's where we are today. And they're saying that this spike in violence created by them over the last 3 years now is because of personally made firearms, which is an absolute lie. Criminals will criminal no matter what. No matter how much you write things on paper and have some idiot in the White House sign it, criminals will never follow them, thus the term and the definition, criminal. But that's common sense. Common sense be damned. What they want is to take away your freedom, my freedom, our children's freedom, our grandchildren's future, to be free and safe of government tyranny and criminals who will be able to do whatever they want at will and be empowered by the Democrats strictly because they want to remain in power and earn those votes. Also, what they're saying is that the localities don't have the ability to enforce the laws, so the government has to do it for them. The feds have to. Really? Then why have huge police budgets? Why have police at all if you can't enforce your laws that you created? It said 14 jurisdictions created this law. Why would you create the law if you knew you couldn't enforce it? Makes you wonder if it was part of the plan all along. Maybe the ATF was working with these anti-gun states for the end game, which is to try to ban ghost guns, personally made firearms. We've been able to make our own guns in this country since before the beginning of the country, since the founding of America, since people sailed across the ocean and landed on this land. We've been able to make our own firearms. And all of a sudden, over the last 5 years-ish, it's been taboo. And there's a reason, guys and gals. It's because they can't track it. They can't keep track of who has what. Therefore, when a confiscation happens, they don't know who has these items. Think outside the box. So this was just filed on the 27th. Funny, because the ATF changed the firearm frame and receiver rule again day before yesterday. And this all seems to be happening together. You think they're conspiring? Let me know down below what you think. And until we see each other again, be safe, stay vigilant, and carry a gun to keep you, your friends, your family, your community safe. And if you live in one of these 18 states and the District of Columbia, these 19 AGs just sold out the Constitution for political expediency. Make no mistake about it. They want a future in federal politics, and our rights are being trampled on so that they can earn money and remain employed. I'll see you in the next one, y'all. Take care.